Holding on to what I am, all alone out in this world. Through the darkness I descend. My eyes are fixed on the horizon, pushing onwards to the end. Travel through the mountains, walking through this wasteland. My eyes are fixed on the horizon, holding on to what I am. All alone out in this world, through the darkness I descend. My eyes are fixed on the horizon, pushing onwards to the end.
Hey guys, okay, so what we have here is two different Game Gears that were actually dropped off by a customer.
Hey guys. Okay, so
And that's going to be annoying.
Here is two different Game Gears that were actually dropped off.
There we go. Now it's not duplicating my conversation here. Okay, so we have two different Game Gears here that were brought in by a customer, and not sure 100% what's actually wrong with them, but we're going to figure that out. It's still freaking echoing. The hell is doing that? That should be better. Anyways, so I'm going to take a look at these Game Gears and figure out what's going on with them. Customer says we've done work on them before, but I don't remember doing a half job on it. But what we're going to do is throw some batteries in, and we're just going to see what they actually do. So Game Gear systems in the first place, if they've never been worked on before, I can pretty much guarantee you there's going to be at least one problem with them. If you do get the rare case of, hey, yours are perfect, there's no problems with it, I can guarantee you there will be problems. The capacitors all leak in them, so they all have to basically have... Oh boy. Okay, well, I can't fix that. So what that is actually a smashed screen. The LCD screen itself is smashed, and on the Game Gears, you can't... It's just not a standard LCD screen. So there's no video out on the board or anything. You have to go to something like the McWill LCD swap, which would get that one working again. But yeah, so that one we're just going to put aside. There. Okay. So we'll pull the batteries, we'll put them in the second one here. This may be a little quicker than I expected. Absolutely nothing. So, we'll open it up and see if there's been any work done on the actual systems themselves. Just going to change one setting here. Okay. Where is... Should have a different screwdriver than this one. Kind of have standard tools that I love actually using, so when they're not there, it's an annoying pain in the ass. just checked this friggin' thing to see if the auto zoom was off. Sorry guys, bear with me for a minute here. Wow, that looks out of focus. Been playing around with all the freaking settings the last little while and trying to find something that... Okay, so that's a little better anyways. I'll deal with the rest later on. So I'm assuming this one we've probably done full recap on, because the customer is talking about something that we've done before, and I can't remember anything we've done before on this one, but... This is the one with the smash screen. Okay, so once we open it up there, disconnect these cables here. Okay, so I can tell you that there has been work done on this. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Now this is something I've done. I'd be really surprised because you can see here that the soundboard caps have actually never been replaced on this unit. Power caps haven't been replaced. Now the main board, the caps actually have been replaced, but cleanup is bad. And on this guy over here, let's go to the microscope for a second, I'll show you. I don't know if that's flux residue or... It definitely looks like flux residue, but Jesus Christ, that's a lot of it. And if you're looking at these caps, they've been replaced too. The surface mount caps have been replaced, but there's been no cleanup on it, which is highly unusual. For me anyways, I don't think I've ever done a Game Gear where we only did partial replacement. So you can see there's ceramic caps there. So when we're looking at this, what we're really looking at is like this guy here and that guy there. So they actually have been replaced. Okay, let's do this. Let's put that one aside for a second anyways, because it's got a smash screen, which means the recapping is completely and utterly doesn't make a difference, so. Okay, so what do we have? One more screw. One more screw. Hey, at least on this one I can show you what I mean by, you know, if it doesn't have a problem yet, it will. Oh, there's a good example. Okay, so leaking capacitors, what they actually look like. Let's go back to the microscope for a second here. Okay. Let's take a look here. So, might be a little harder for you to see. When you're looking down at these caps here, you can see there's quite a bit of residue around the bottom edge here that I'm kind of scraping at. That's not good. And you can see it again over here. And you can see it's wet. There's like liquid on here. This is actually the cap leaking. And that's one of the main power caps there. That appears to be okay as far as what I'm looking at anyways. Over here, oh, we got another one here. Tons and tons of residue around here. Lots of residue around that one. You can actually see again, there's actually liquid on the board. This one here is leaking. Oh, there's a carcass of a bug. That's awesome. Just get rid of that. Okay, so there we have another one. And you can see there's lots of residue across the bottom there. On both sides. That one definitely needs to be replaced too. I mean, we replace them all anyways. I just wanted to give an example of why. Like this one over here actually looks pretty good. No residue, no problems at all. But yeah, everything to do with the power system, power in general on this board, all need to be replaced in order to get the system to work. Now, the other thing we had was no power on the main board. Oh, interesting enough, this power board, so this is the one with the non-smash screen, but nothing else was actually replaced on it. You can see that the power board here has actually had, sorry, this is a soundboard, but that cap's been replaced. It's got 3 other caps on here that have been replaced. Now on the power board side, which is actually where the power switch and everything else is, those are the original caps. So no change on those whatsoever. Okay, so regardless, what we'll end up doing to save a little bit of time for the customer, we'll end up, so one of these is the smash screen. So that is the non-smash screen. This is the smash screen. So I'm just going to put a sticky note on, actually, yeah. And as far as we know on this one, only because we can't power it on, this one is actually a, this needs recap, no power. So, I mean, technically, I don't like having... I like using ceramic caps all the time. Ceramic caps just last a lifetime. So even if I did use this soundboard, which is probably the better option because I know that one probably works, I'd probably replace these radio caps with ceramic caps. The other thing I don't like is when you actually put it in like this, it's extremely tight between the metal shielding and the actual caps themselves. There's an extremely tight space and potential for like a spark. Just looking at the details on that, there is barely any space between the leg and the actual cap itself. So if this was one I had done a very long time ago, it was at the very beginning stages of me actually doing these. So regardless, I got to give the customer a call and find out what he wants to do as far as proceeding. At least one of these is going to need a full recap. We do have the option of the McWill kit. The McWill kit, let me grab one for you. These guys are pretty pricey. So what we end up doing is taking off the LCD screen completely that's in the Game Gear right now, and we install one of these guys. So there is quite a few solder connections all across here, and then your power and ground and everything over there. So there is quite a bit of work. The actual wires themselves run all across the main board to get this thing powered up, get it to actually displaying a picture fine. Quite a bit of work, but these things are incredible as far as the quality. If you want a Game Gear, the batteries to last, that's one way to go. And actually, while I'm at it, I'll show you the actual... So, which one's the one with the smash screen? Okay, so smashed LCD. Let's use that one as an example. So, at the back here, the reason that these things ate through batteries so much is because of the actual fluorescent tube here. So the fluorescent tube here is actually powered by quite a bit more than the batteries can actually handle. I think it's 24 volts that actually runs through this. There's the transformer for the LCD, or for the fluorescent tube. Extremely high power unit. If you were to actually charge this thing up and touch it with your finger, you'd be shot across the room. So a lot of voltage is actually held in the actual fluorescent tube. When you go to an aftermarket solution like the McWill that we have here, it's a backlit screen, similar to what's on your phone, similar to whatever else you've been using as far as a backlit screen. Game Boy Advance SPs, some of them have the backlit screen, but regardless, the LCD or the LED voltage is extremely low. So the quality is extremely high. But they are pricey. I don't think I have my price lists actually installed here. Nope. So I got to get that installed so I can look up pricing as we're chatting anyways. But I think the last time we did it, it was about 260 bucks. That was installation and the McWill kit. The McWill kit, I think they're about 140 bucks a piece. So it's about 2 hours worth of labor to actually install it, get all the hookups. And then on top of that, if somebody's bringing me a stock Game Gear like this guy here, we're looking at a full recap. So just to give you an idea of the amount of caps, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So 15 caps on this one that have to actually be replaced. Plus another, I think there's 5 on this side, there's 5 on that side, or 3 on that side. So you're looking at quite a few caps, and each one of them has to be individually done. So quite a bit of work. Yeah, so that's as far as we can go on these guys. We'll give the customer a call, and hopefully we'll be back in a couple days. I'm actually on vacation for a couple days, trying to get away after the Christmas rush. But we'll be back in a couple days, and we'll tackle these and do what we need to do. Thanks for watching.